Sometimes a creative idea hides from you. Maybe because you weren't ready for it yet, but when inspiration hits, you take it, because it might not come back around. Recently, I found this old Sony Handycam. It's got a night mode that surprisingly still works, and I wanted to figure out how to use it in a modern way. When I was younger, I used to play this game called Outlast. You play a journalist inside an abandoned asylum, and all you have to see in the dark is your camera's night vision. This Handycam reminded me of that, so I wanted to recreate it. But there's one problem. This thing takes old tapes, and they don't work with my new computer, so you won't be seeing any of the footage. I'm going to use this board to connect my two cameras at the right distance. Why not 15mm rods? Magic arms? Sure, there are tons of options, but this one is free. This isn't the first time I used wood to make a camera rig, and I suggest you try it sometime. I made this for a past project, and here are some of the results. First, I'm going to drill the hole to install my camcorder. I like using painter's tape to help lay things out. It helps me stay organized, because I'd like to say I'm precise with my measurements, but things tend to go sideways quickly, and foreshadowing, they do here too. So I'm pretty confident that I have almost everything I need to get this project rolling. Like for instance, I saved all these random screws from cameras, tripods, and other accessories. Typically, I'll countersink these screws so they don't stick out the bottom of the wood and scratch other surfaces. Here, I'm using a caliper to very roughly establish an angle for my quick release plate. This is very, very far from accurate, and it becomes a slight issue later on. The nice thing about this mount though is you can move your camera forward and back on the plate for framing and focus needs. And if you ever screw a camera plate to wood, make sure you have a mechanical connection from the other side too. The last thing you want to do is support your extremely expensive camera with a couple of teeny drywall screws. Here's a rough example of how the shot looks. This isn't bad, but you can see the board at the bottom of the frame, and I'd like the screen centered more. I'll fix that soon. Now I had this crazy idea. I have a shoot with a client today, a realtor, and I want to try and use this rig with him, which means I only have a couple of hours to finalize everything before the shoot. I need to raise the camcorder, cut off some of the wood, and sand the edges so that they aren't sharp. Let's go.
I am like beyond thrilled with how this is right now. There's some refinements that could be made, but if I rest my hand on the bottom side here, you can't tell that it's mounted to a wood block. So I think this is so cool. I'm so happy with it. I can't wait to use it today. I'm gonna bring you guys along for that too. So this has been a big project for me. It might not look like a lot, but to record videos like this with all the additional shots and the slow motion shots and the macro shots and stuff like that, it all takes time. So if you've enjoyed this journey so far, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, any of the above or all the above. It really tells me what people like to see on YouTube, and it really helps me sculpt the future of my channel. It's only gonna get better from here. Wait, that doesn't really work. Action. Good? Yeah. Chaotic enough, yeah.
Things actually turned out great with my client, but honestly, I always envisioned this tool being used for something like a horror short film. That's really the goal here. Okay, so let's prep for our shoot with Tim. First, we're shooting with image stabilization off. It was giving me some weird float in certain shots. I'm also going to use a new lens I found, the Fujinon 55mm f3.5 macro. Surprisingly sharp, and the minimum focus distance is perfect for this setup. But that brought up the real question: does it work in low light? Let's find out the night before our shoot with Tim. Not loving the results. I was genuinely concerned this idea wasn't going to work. So I texted Tim to cancel, and he comes back with the best idea ever. All right, so this is the final payoff, what everyone's been waiting for. The last minute, low budget, no script, horror film, directed, filmed, and edited by me. Guest appearance with my buddy Tim. Oh, and photo by Tim too. Enjoy.
This is Tom with Last Mile Recovery. Responding to a vehicle pickup. I don't know why they got me working this late. Can barely see. Landowner says this vehicle just appeared out of nowhere. This thing looks like it's been here for years. What the fuck? Get a nice wide shot this way. Gonna try and find a VIN number. Hello? Hello? Hey, I see you there, man. I'm just trying to work. Hello?
Hey, man, hey, are you okay? I don't make enough money for this shit. Listen, man. I don't want any trouble. You can have my wallet. You can have all my money, man. Oh!